Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast. We are here to drink some beers and review them like we do each and every week that we've done for almost 10 years now.
This is true. It's what we do.
Yes, it is what we do. And
what else would we do?
I don't know. Probably take up knitting, crocheting, macrame, all sorts of fun things like that.
What's macrame?
It's just a thing people do.
I was naming our future show.
Oh, what's on macrame?
I know what macrame is.
How to macrame?
Yes, I know what macrame is. I was doing what's on tap, but yeah.
Okay.
I said that in the wrong way. So you have been to Finland.
I have been to Finland.
And you brought a Finnish stout.
I didn't just bring any Finnish stout. I brought a Finnish stout that was rated the best Finnish stout from 2017 to 2021.
2018, 19, 20, and 21.
Yeah.
What happened then?
Other stouts came out. And this is from Hiisi.
Hiisi, yeah, exactly. Hiisi, and it's called Ikiiurso, Imperial Stout Bourbon Barrel Aged.
Yeah, comes in at 12% ABV. And I was like, well, if it was rated the best stout in Finland for 4 years in a row, we definitely have to jump on this bad boy to see what they got going on. So let's get into it.
It smells good.
It smells like a barrel-aged Imperial Stout. There's like some chocolate notes. Definitely some...
A little bit of heat, but it needs to have a little bit of heat. Otherwise, it would be
definitely some bourbon on there. So, honestly, it smells like a KBS or any number of 1050 or whatever. So, let's do it.
Cheers.
There's a nice sweetness up front. It doesn't go into the over-roasted, licoricey kind of flavors. A lot of bourbon and a nice little alcohol burn on the back end, and then you get kind of the heavy roasted malts flavors.
There's some kind of bark, like wood. That's not necessarily a little bit of bitter bark. It's not necessarily bad. There's something there.
Yeah, the intake definitely falls into the 80% dark chocolate kind of bitter aftertaste, which is really surprising considering how sweet the upfront is.
I'm really digging the artwork. It's this huge eye surrounded by smaller eyes and tentacles. It's some kind of eldritch, otherworldly horror.
If we knew anything about it would probably be some sort of Finnish reference or something to ancient forest people. They got a little story on the side. It says, astounding, sighed the tribesman in his hut. The trembling in his voice spoke of excitement with a dash of fear. Under his eyes, the liquid behind the glass, if you call it a liquid, was heavy, viscous, like crude oil or tar. To call it black would be like calling the sun hot. It radiated darkness. It swallowed the light from the hearth fire. As the tribesman kept staring, the nearby stream started running more and more rapidly. One could hear the faint chiming of tiny bells from the nearby bog. The tribesman was not listening, though. Absolutely astounding. And then you can read more on their website. So it was a dramatic reading for the episode.
This is the new format for the show. We do dramatic reading of ancient horror stories.
I wish more beers would just put dramatic readings on the sides. Yeah. You could have a little story. It's like, read more here. And then I like their little recommended thing. So I guess this is vegan. You should have it with elk, some sort of stew that you cook in a earthenware pot.
Yeah, and then there are two glasses clinking together. So you could have it for drinking.
You could do it for drinking. Or
that's lucky.
Maybe have it with wine. I don't know. It's unclear what the glasses are.
There's sausages,
right? And then sausages as well. So it runs the gamut.
I saw it earlier. The two glasses clinking together made me chuckle because, this goes good with drinking. I would hope so.
So the IBU is 100 and the craft is 100%. So I'm really loving their
100% craft.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about IBUs. 100 in an IPA is very bitter, but 100 in a stout isn't, because it needs so much bitterness to counterbalance the sweetness.
But I'd say it has a pretty bitter finish.
Right. But when you drink a really bitter IPA, you go, whoa, that's really bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's more balanced, so it's not as obvious.
Well, I can see why this won Best Stout for 4 years in a row. I think this is excellent. I really, really like this. I think if you like the bitter finish, you're going to quite enjoy this beer quite a lot. If you don't enjoy a bit of a harsh bitter finish, you're not going to like this beer very much. Because it starts so sweet, you get the bourbon, and then it finishes, and then the bitterness kind of sets in through a real... journey. The beer takes you through a whole process.
That is true.
So what do you think?
425.
425, yeah.
I think you're going for 5, maybe?
No, I would actually give it... like it's like almost a 4.5.
Yeah?
But not quite there. This is, again, where if we were doing tenths, it would probably be like a 4.4 or something like that. I think it's really, really good. It's not quite a 4.5. Which is where I was doing the 4.25, but I'll be honest with you, I did not think it's going to be very good. So I was like, I'm quite surprised.
But it's the best finished stout.
Right. How many beers have we tried that have been like, oh, gold medal winner, and you're just like, what was the competition like?
We paid the competition to stay at home.
Exactly. Because there's been quite a few beer festivals where it's like, oh, this won the best beer, because no one else was there. Like, what happened?
Some obscure category. Stouts between 7.9% and 8.1%.
Exactly. All right. So next up is Bounty Hunter, which is an imperial stout with coconut and vanilla. It is a 10% ABV. It says it's a strong beer, extra strong beer.
Made by Bellwoods.
Bellwoods Brewing.
We've had a lot
Canada,
exactly. We've had a lot of Bellwoods, and Systembolaget has released a lot of Bellwoods, both sours and stouts. But we've never reviewed them on the show.
Yeah, and you picked up a lot of Bellwoods when we were at the Blue Bower release last year.
At Drick Beer's warehouse,
and they were good. Really, really good. And then it's just a shame we didn't save any for the show.
Womp, womp, womp.
But we see them, they have them at Beer Ditch quite often and other places on tap. So it's not impossible to find around here, but we just haven't been getting the stouts until recently. Usually it's the sours.
Exactly. And when we were talking about this, planning for today's episode, I think we both expected this to be a bottle.
Right, because it was, it wasn't, 473 milliliters.
Yeah, but I did that would have been a dead giveaway. I didn't check the size.
Mm-hmm.
I only checked because we were talking about a few different stouts that I had them on the way to my local Systembolaget. And then when I picked it up, I was like, I looked into my bag and I was like, did I not get one of the stouts? There's only one bottle in this bag. No, this was a can.
All right. Well, it's got some coconut on the nose, which is a good sign.
But not enough. I think the aroma is quite faint.
I would like more coconut. Yeah. Definitely, for sure.
Let's see if there's more in the flavor.
All right. Cheers. I get marzipan. I don't get coconut.
I agree. My was there's more flavor in it than there's aroma.
Yeah. If you told me this was a chocolate marzipan beer, I'd be like, nailed it. As vanilla coconut, it just is not. It's not getting there for me. Matter of fact, and this was this? Oh, imperial stout. Okay, it wasn't barrel aged.
No. Yeah, it just says barley malt, oat malts, wheat malts, brewed and canned in Ontario, Canada.
Not Ontario.
Ontario.
Okay.
It's an I think the kerning is off on this word, so that the I has lost the gap between the dot and the line.
Or it could just be all in capitals, and then they have the I as just a straight line.
Maybe, but
Because all the other letters are capital letters.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let me see. No. Here.
Oh, okay. You're looking at the label that was printed for Systembolaget, not the label, not the can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on the actual can, I mean the extra little Swedish.
Okay.
Uh,
I get where you're going here.
Have you ever seen the? Now I'm going off topic. On Reddit, the subreddit for bad kerning with texts. You know kerning, where?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what that subreddit is called?
What?
Keeming. Because the R and the N, when they go close together, become an M. So kerning is called. It's very meta.
It is very meta.
And they post pictures of companies doing really bad.
Because then it gets text. The words can get a little odd whenever that happens,
and often
like
inappropriate.
Yeah, spacing matters.
Exactly.
So what do you think about this one?
I mean, I like it flavor-wise, but now we go here all the time. This is one of the bingo squares on the What's on Tap bingo. The contents of the glass do not match the label on the can or bottle.
Yeah. And there's a bit of a off flavor as well. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just... It's not tannic. Maybe it is a little bit tannic. Maybe it's getting into a tannic flavor. So maybe something with the coconut is throwing off some of the of the flavor itself. Because for me, it's the mouthfeel's okay, the marzipaniness is okay, but then there's a weird off flavor for me that I don't quite know how to describe that keeps it from being like that good.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not getting that off flavor. So until you can put it into words, I don't know if I'm tasting it.
I think unfortunately, I have to keep drinking it now to be able to put words to it, but I don't think I'll be able to.
Right now, for me, this is a maybe weak, but it is a 4.
No.
But then I'm somewhat disregarding the promise of coconut.
Yeah, this is a 3 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
It really is. I don't.
We need to dig down deeper into that off flavor.
Well, I just don't get coconut on this. I don't really get vanilla. I just get sweet sugar water, basically. And it doesn't give me really anything that makes me want to keep drinking it.
I am a fan of sweet sugar water.
I mean, sure, who doesn't love sugar water? But it's just not... It's not anything for me, you know? And I feel like I'm being generous with 3, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Because I just don't get anything from this beer in any way whatsoever, other than it's a stout. And if I keep drinking it, I'll get drunk.
There are lots of stouts that end up in that category, and they get somewhere around 4, 375, 4-ish.
You're a much more generous
I am.
reviewer than I am. I take this serious. This is a matter of life and death with each bottle.
Beer for me is love.
No.
You approach beer from hatred and bitterness.
Exactly. It's like, what are you giving me? I paid you for Dance Monkey. So yeah, I do not enjoy this beer. This is not something I would reach for again.
But now I want to revisit the Hiisi Ikiiurso.
So much better.
It is good.
It's so much better.
It is good. That's one I would want to have more pourings of. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the Bounty Hunter. So it all adds up to the same thing. But I'm really curious what Ikiiurso means. Translate Finnish to English. Let's say Ikiiurso. A giant bear. No, wait, no. I think it changed it to translate from Esperanto. No, I didn't.
So many people speak Esperanto, so it's.
So this is where translation services get really weird. So Ikiiurso is a giant bear. That makes sense. But then the translation software tells me, oh, you could switch to Esperanto, just so you know. Okay, Ikiiurso has no translation. Why would you tell me to switch to Esperanto if it has no translation? That makes no sense. Then you could just have said, oh, why don't try Swahili? Oh, it has no translation. My technological rant is over.
Like you feel better now. Get that out of your system.
Okay, I have one more rant.
All right, go ahead.
There's nothing I hate more in the world of technology than a website or software that changes its UI. So it builds its UI in a very staggered approach.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see a button and I'm about to click the button, my finger is closing in or my mouse cursor is closing in, and before I click, it adds an element that pushes my button somewhere else, and I end up clicking something completely different.
Do you have an example of this?
Yeah, I have so many examples. Okay, at work I have multiple examples, but those are in-house developed software.
Yeah.
So
there is something, I can't think what it is now, where I can't remember, something I use quite often, and every time it loads, I have to wait for this extra second.
Yeah.
Because the thing I need to hit, if I don't do it quick enough, it'll bounce either up or down one or two.
Right.
And then hit the wrong thing, and it drives me absolutely nuts.
Exactly. No, so at work, when I need to search for microservices developed by different teams, I write the word in a search field, and the results are instantly filtered to the correct thing. Mm-hmm. But then some kind of JavaScripty bullshit thing triggers, and it reverts to its original state, unfiltered. Which means that I see, let's pretend I'm looking for Stefan. I see Stefan, and I have my mouse going there, and bloop, no, it's whatever was named A something. It's been reverted. So you need to filter, wait, remove one character, and add that character again to make sure it's so stupid. Thank you for listening to Martin's rants on technology. This 2025, we shouldn't be having these problems.
You know, there's a lot of problems with technology. We just don't really want to get into it these days. Things are not going great with the world. So we'll wrap it up there on that note. You can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts, you can find What's on Tap.
Unless the UI switches and you want to click What's on Tap, but you get somewhere else.
So until next time.
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.